Perseus's mother's name was Danae, like my sister.
Yeah, 干怎么有人走了
Anyway. Hello, I'm
The Eagle Bearer. We've heard all about you.
Are you going to tell us a story today? Do we have to listen? We've heard it 100 times.
Yes, that's me. And yes, I'm telling you a story. Let us sing with the voice of the gods about the exploits of brave Perseus and the noble Pegasus. Acrisius, the king of Argos, was not a good man. He had one child, a daughter, Danae. Bitter that he had no son, he went to the oracle of Delphi and heard a prophecy that chilled him.
Ooh, what was it?
The oracle said Acrisius would be killed by his grandson. But Danae was unmarried and childless at the time. To protect himself, he locked Danae in a bronze room, open only to the sky.
Ooh.
However, mighty Zeus saw the girl and fell in love with her. He transformed into a golden shower and seduced her. Danae gave birth to a son, Perseus.
I knew it.
King Acrisius couldn't kill the boy for fear of angering Zeus. So, he put his daughter and grandson in a wooden crate and tossed them into the wild sea to be drowned.
How horrid! Poor Perseus.
A kindly old couple, Amphitryon and Alcmene, found Perseus in the sea and brought him to their farm in Smarpolis, taking him as their son.
What about his mom, my namesake?
Shh, listen. Hera was angry and sent snakes to kill the baby. But Perseus was too strong, and he strangled the snakes in his crib, revealing his godly nature.
That doesn't sound right.
There are different ways to tell the story, you know.
And this story is for the crows?
When Perseus grows up, he travels to Iope and falls in love at first sight with the beautiful princess Andromeda. However, Andromeda's mother boasts that her daughter is more beautiful than the goddess Thetis, offending her.
Never say you are better than the gods.
Thetis proclaims that Andromeda must be sacrificed to the gods, or else the whole city of Iope will be destroyed.
I don't think that's right. Wasn't Andromeda an Ethiopian princess?
Hush! Perseus asks his grandmother, Tala, how to save his love. She turns into a manta ray and says, to save Andromeda, he must bring back curly hair of gold, fit for the king of the mountains, who yet owns less than the humblest Elot.
I don't know that riddle.
It's too hard.
It was hard for Perseus too, but eventually he figured it out.
How?
He just did is all. Perseus figured out what he needed. The golden fleece of the winged ram, said to be guarded by a monster who could turn any to stone. Luckily, Perseus was blessed by the gods, and he was guided by Athena's golden-geared owl to the monster's lair.
Athena's golden owl? That's dumb.
Sounds cute. I want one.
And armed with the vorpal sword from the mighty Olethros, he faced the snake-necked, large-headed, shaggy-maned, stony-gazed Katovlepas!
No!
Huh?
Perseus avoided Katovlepas's killing gaze and snicked the sword, lopping off the creature's head.
Ew!
He grabbed the golden fleece and wrapped the Katovlepas's head in it. Then he flew back home astride winged Pegasus to save Andromeda, who was about to be eaten by the Kraken. He used the deadly head to turn the Kraken to stone.
Wait, the what? What's a kraken?
Like a giant squid?
Don't you mean the sea monster Ketos?
Pretty sure Homer said, release the Kraken, not release the Ketos.
You just made that up.
That was not all. Hades appears with a pack of giant scorpions called Scorpiox and kills Andromeda and tries to kill Perseus. But Perseus throws his sword of Zeus at Hades, forcing him back into the underworld.
Wait. It's supposed to be Hermes' sickle, and Andromeda doesn't die.
You're telling it wrong!
In the end, Perseus wins. Zeus offers to make him a god, but Perseus refuses. So instead, Zeus brings Andromeda back to life, because she was only mostly dead.
Wow, that was so wrong and so boring.
You are a stinky storyteller, and that story was boom!
I am sorry for your audience, Evil Bearer. Though from what I heard, it did sound like you deviated somewhat from the traditional tale.
Apologies.
Apologies. Okay.
Do you have some more stories for us, Eagle Bearer? Maybe about a chariot team called the Champion Ducks? Or a giant wooden rabbit used to sack Troy? I don't believe any of your tales.
看我读胆笑死。
Hello, I'm...
The Eagle Bearer.
Are you going to...
Yes, that's... Let us sing with the voice of the gods. The great god of the sea, Poseidon, visited a mortal woman, Sarah, a fisherman's daughter. The god of the sea frolicked with her in the shape of a dolphin, and she knew his love.
Ugh. Is this a kissing story?
Relax, I'm just setting it up. Soon, Sarah gave birth to a child, the half-blood hero, Perseus.
I thought Perseus' mother's name was Danae, like my sister.
看怎么有人走了
Well,
Celos
that's true
964
in some versions. Anyway.
Anyway.
At some point, baby Perseus. Let us... Akriti, our king.
How?
Perseus and his mother Danae were rescued on the island of Seriphos, and Perseus grew up under the care of a kindly fisherman, Victis.
Lucky them. Did the gods help?
Maybe. Perseus learned to swim and ride and fight, and how to be good and just, even though his father was only a fisherman.
I can do all those things too.
Yeah, good for you.
Except swim.
Or be just.
Hush. Now, Victis' brother was ruler of the island, but he was not a good man.
He's scum.
The cruel king of Seriphos, Victis' brother Polydectes, decided he wanted to marry Danae, for she was still beautiful and noble. But Perseus knows his mother does not want this. Victis couldn't stop his brother, so it was up to Perseus to interfere and be annoying.
Christos, that's your job.
I would keep the stinky king from marrying you.
The cruel and, stinky king became angry. To get rid of Perseus, Polydectes sent him on an impossible quest. Prove yourself a warrior, and fetch me a worthy wedding gift, the king said, by killing a great monster!
I knew it!
Shh, I knew it too.
I knew it too!
Polydectes told Perseus to bring back the head of Medusa, the Gorgon, whose gaze could turn anyone who looked into her eyes to stone.
Ah!
Polydectes knew that Medusa would be Perseus' death.
That stinker!
But the evil king did not know Perseus was favored by the gods. Hermes gifted Perseus with winged sandals and a silver sickle, and Athena gave him a bronze shield polished mirror bright. Perseus flew to Medusa's lair and used the shield to watch her reflection. He cut off her head with the sickle of Hermes. As she died, the winged foal Pegasus sprung from her neck.
Yes!
Flying home, Perseus found the maiden Andromeda, chained on the Ethiopian cliffs, waiting to be sacrificed to the baleful sea monster, Ketos. Perseus used Medusa's head to turn Ketos to stone, rescued Andromeda, and married her.
Take that, Ketos!
Perseus returned home to find King Polydectes relentlessly pursuing Danae. They quarreled, and Perseus showed the king his wedding gift. When he saw Medusa's head, Polydectes turned to stone. Perseus traveled to Argos with his family, and one day competed in the great athletic games. He hurled the discus, and his throw was so great that it shot into the stands and struck King Acrisius. So doing, Perseus killed his grandfather and fulfilled the prophecy.
Hurrah! You can't escape your fate.
Perseus and Andromeda settled in Mycenae as king and queen, and had 7 sons and 2 daughters, the Perseidae.
That was a great telling of the tale. I'll never forget it.
Maybe the
Yeah.
best. I can't wait to tell all my friends.
Thank you.
I couldn't help overhearing the end of your story. Truly inspiring, Eagle Bearer. Thank you.
You're welcome.